Hi, I'm Sarah Thompson, and this is my video on Kesa. My video is going to be a little bit different than everybody else's. I am an early childhood special educator, and Kesa is accreditation for K through 12. I do work for a county cooperative, so we are housed in several different buildings throughout the county. Our early education center building is owned by USD 308, and that is who holds our accreditation. When I was talking to my building director, she actually had no idea what CASA was. And because we are housed in 308, they are the ones that have our accreditation, like I mentioned, but we're considered a program, not a building. Even though we're housed in a building, I still need to learn all the technicalities behind that. But we did sit down and talked about the implementing of the 5 R's, and we are doing that in many areas. Relationships, we focus on collaboration and learning. We do a great job with our peer mentoring of our new teachers, especially with our model. We have a 50-50 model, which you don't see very often anymore. So we have 50% special needs, 50% regular education students. So when a new teacher comes into that, they definitely need that mentoring and that help. So we also follow social, emotional, and character development standards. These are huge in the Kansas State standards, and we have our own curriculum that really follows these. Relevance, we use strategies for data gathering and analysis. We do formal assessments on all of our students to see where they're at. We use instructional modifications to meet the learning needs of all students. This is especially huge in our building because of 50% of our students being special education. So we do a lot of modifications and with our curriculum just so everybody is learning to their needs. We use meaningful learning experiences to advance the students' learning. Responsive, we demonstrate how learning communities exist at the school and the district. We have learning experience individually and that are age appropriate, and we provide families with traditional opportunities for engagement. I'll talk more about family involvement later, but as far as the traditional, we have the open house, the parent-teacher conferences, and different activities like a library night that parents are invited to. Next, our rigor. We demonstrate the process used for analysis and student learning needs. We're definitely hold all of our confidentiality to a high standard, and we have agreements with all of the employees, especially in the area of social media, that just maintaining the confidentiality. And we train staff on with student information systems, our IEP processes, and all of the training that we need to make sure that all the paperwork is done and filed successfully. My director is a situational leader. I think a lot of this comes from actually working for the county, and many of our teachers, we have a community-based staff which goes out to these schools all over in the county, so she has to be able to work with a variety of other types of centers and working with them on what's best for each of our students, and um, and just having to deal with our board, our own school, and again, all the other schools that are linked with us. She's also a very democratic leader. She knows that she holds the final responsibility, but she also delegates authority to others. She does this by setting up teams. Like when we're looking at curriculum, she'll set up a curriculum team for us to look and do our research and then come back with the results. And ultimately, she has the final responsibility of deciding anything, but she makes sure that we all have a voice. Looking at some of the things that we discussed and how I would like to see change, professional learning on family engagement was a big one for me. Like I mentioned, we have the traditional family engagement, but I would like to see more family engagement as far as actually having them there. A lot of times I get students that are put on the bus and I have never met their parents and they don't show up for meetings. They I've had to do knocks on doors before to get paperwork signed. So I would like to do definitely have more research-based family engagement strategies. I would like to research what other schools are doing to be more successful with getting the parents into the classroom and engaging with their students, and just work together to build up strength for our families and our community. Next, it's a huge one for our building. We have very minimal technology, and I know in the 21st century that is very, very important. You know, it's used for teaching and learning. So another thing that we talked about was, technology is very limited in our building. We have a smart TV and a couple of iPads, if they're working or not, for our students to use. I would like to find more funding. I would like to be able to have one-on-one technology for the students. It promotes communication for those that are learning to talk. Other students can have individual learning programs. They can use them as listening devices. Some of the things can be used with our visually impaired kids, just bringing that closer to in their visual field. And so this is something that I would really like to bring in more in our classrooms and our building, is technology with the teaching. Next is partnerships with the district. This is huge because, like I said, we get these kids at such a young age. We're with them till they're 5 years old, and I feel like we need to build better partnerships in the transition to kindergarten. Instead of just having that one meeting with the other schools out in the district, just kind of giving them their IEP and sending them on their way, I would like to build a stronger partnership to where the students are more familiar with the teachers that they're getting in the classroom and the transition that's being made. And I think that we can really come together to achieve this vision and just help each student out. And so these were some of the main things that we talked about. Again, I'm curious to learn more about the accreditation program and what it has in store. Thank you.